Alright, so here's how to actually start flipping land in 2024. A lot of people really just don't understand how to get started with flipping land. And honestly, it's not that hard. And if you really dedicate yourself to the principles that I'm about to lay out for you, you're gonna have a business and where you can make $100,000 to $250,000 a year, literally by yourself from your home, working a few hours a week, doing a few deals a year, honestly. And it's not really that difficult. So first things first, to understand, you need leads into your business and you need consistent quality leads that are actually gonna sell on the market. How do you do that? You do that with marketing. So there are multiple different forms of marketing. You have direct mail, you have cold calling, you have text message, you have PPC. I primarily use direct mail, and I swear by direct mail. That's honestly the number one lead source that you can have is direct mail. Because when you're able to send out a mailer to a seller, they can hold on to that letter for years. I've had sellers call me back after years and say that they want to sell their property. Literally after years of sending out that mailer. So understand that it's all about quality leads. Now, how do you send quality leads? Now, mail is one thing, but data is another thing. So being able to extrapolate the data that is going to lead you to having high quality leads is very important as well. If you're sending out 50,000 mailers, but then you're sending out 50,000 mailers to desert squares that are selling for $2,000 or $3,000, that's not a high quality lead, and you're not gonna be able to build a sustainable business with that. You see, when a lot of people start, they try and find properties that are super cheap because they think it's gonna be really easy for them to sell the properties, when honestly it's not. You're gonna spend the exact same time on a small deal as you would the big deal. So when you start, you should be aiming for deals that are selling for $50,000 to $200,000. You're not trying to go find properties that are in the $2,000 to $10,000 range. You're not gonna make any significant money off of that, and you're still gonna spend the exact same amount of marketing and spend the exact same amount of money and time on the small deal as the big deal. You have to realize that sometimes doing the bigger deal is actually a lot easier than doing the small deal, just because the profile of the person is different. The profile of the seller is different and the profile of the buyer is different. If you're dealing with a person that's selling a $20,000 property, you're gonna have to deal with their scarce mindset and them thinking that you're trying to rob them or them thinking that you're trying to scam them and all these other things. If you're dealing with someone that's selling a $50,000 to $80,000 property and so on and so forth, you're gonna be dealing with a completely different profile. This person is probably a lot more sophisticated than the person that's selling a cheap property. They probably have a different mindset than the person that's selling the cheap property. And then furthermore, when you go to sell it, you're gonna have buyers that are not just tire kickers and they actually will perform and buy when it's time to buy. The worst thing that you can have is a property that you cannot sell. So going into different markets and seeing what the market actually decides based upon who has bought what and in what time the properties have sold is the best way to go into a market, reverse engineer it for your success. You can literally go into any single market and reverse engineer it for your success based upon who has bought what and how quickly they bought those properties. I'll give you an example. If I go into Aiken County, South Carolina, and I see that 10 properties have sold from anywhere to $100,000 to $250,000, and they've all taken 120 days or less, then I'm gonna go into that market and I'm gonna go and offer whatever acreage range that was at 30 to 50% of the market value, and I'm gonna do that consistently. I'm gonna send out 10, 15, 20,000 mailers to that exact characteristic because I know that that will sell. Understand that market trends and buyer data never lies. So if you wanna find good markets, find where buyers are consistently buying property. You can literally go on Redfin, Zillow, Realtor.com, Land.com, and see who's buying what and how quickly they're buying it. You can also have simple conversations with brokers to decipher what's moving in a market and only talk to the brokers that have actually sold property in the area. Also understand that you have to be able to give value to the broker. Otherwise, the odds are they're gonna hang up in your face. If you're cold calling a broker and just saying, hey, what's the market trends in this area? They're likely gonna hang up in your face. But you need to say, hey, I actually have a property in this area. I'd be interested in giving it to you. If you can kind of give me some pointers or tips on what you think is moving in this area, I can have a property for you in this area within a couple of weeks. You need to be able to give value. And if you can give value to your brokers, your title companies, your attorneys, your sellers, and your buyers, then you're gonna be able to consistently and profitably buy and sell land. Understand that if you don't have the extensive education in doing the market research, and you're not educated on speaking to sellers on the phone and actually closing them and what it takes to follow up with sellers, and how our sales process for land flipping is very different from the standard sales process of, hey, take out your credit card, put your credit card in, okay, now it's a sale. No, you really have to nurse a lead all the way to closing because sometimes they might want to change their mind. So you have to be able to follow up with them. Understand that it's literally you on the phone that they see and your website. Land flipping is way more of a people business than people understand. It is always about the property, but it's way more about the people that are involved with the transactions. If you can deal with the right people, if you can build rapport with the right sellers and with the right buyers, you're going to create a business where you can consistently buy and sell land. So it's important to understand that you need to be able to take action and be consistent when when it comes to land flipping. Because once you get that first deal, your first deal could be anywhere from $30,000 to $100,000 in profit if you're consistent. Let's say you spent some money on education and saved yourself all the time and all the mistakes that you were gonna make anyways just by buying that education, and then you streamline your success by doing whatever form of marketing that you choose to do, and then you do deals that range anywhere from $30,000 to $100,000 per deal, as opposed to not getting any education, wasting time, wasting money, and just trying to figure it out on your own through YouTube and TikTok. The biggest thing that you have to understand, you need to be able to take action and be consistent on that action. Consistent action will always win. If you can be consistent with this business model, you're gonna be able to catapult yourself into the multi-six-figure realm of success. When it comes to land flipping, being an opportunist is also extremely important. If you can't recognize opportunity in deals, then you're gonna be in trouble, because there are deals that are not obvious, and sometimes you have to work those deals. When you send out a mailer, you need to work every single lead until there's literally nothing left. Squeeze the juice out of every lead that comes back into your CRM, because if you don't do that, you can cost yourself hundreds of thousands of dollars. I had a deal in my CRM that I could have bought for $160,000 last year that ended up selling for $350,000. That would have been an extra $200,000 in profit if I would have just squeezed all the juice out of that lead. So understand that you need to get multiple broker opinions, you need to have someone walk the property, you need to get multiple comps, you need to follow up with the seller multiple times if you want to be able to do land deals extremely profitably and consistently. I've also had deals where I've made $200,000 profit just because I followed through and followed up on a very consistent basis and squeezed the juice out of the lead. You have to understand that. Think of every single lead that comes into your CRM as $50,000. The lead comes in, 50K, 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 and treat it as such until you know there's nothing there. You follow it up with the seller time and time again. There are a lot of people that don't follow up with sellers as much as they should. Oh, I called the seller once, I called the seller twice, and they didn't answer. You need to call someone 100 times, text them 100 times, email them 100 times before you decide, I'm just gonna kind of move on. Never move on until your lead either sells to you or they die. If you have this mentality when it comes to follow-up, you will become a multi-six-figure and multi-seven-figure earner through land flipping. Be very wary of subscribing and doing the things that are not going to produce cash back into your business. If it's not marketing and if it's not education, do not spend money on it. A lot of people end up getting into this business and investing into all these different subscriptions that have nothing to do with producing cash into your business. If it doesn't produce cash into your business, cut it out and do not do it. The only things that you should spend your money on when it comes to land flipping is education and marketing. Remember, if it doesn't produce cash, throw it in the trash. When you're sending out marketing, make sure that whatever marketing that you send, you commit to sending that amount of marketing for 6 months. Do it for 6 months and I guarantee you will see the results. So if you're gonna send out 3,000 mailers, send out 3,000 mailers for 6 months. Send out 5,000 mailers for 6 months. If you're gonna send 10, so on and so forth. Whatever you do, do it for 6 months. Make sure that all of your leads are organized. Make sure that you're aiming for properties that you'll make $30,000 or more each on, and you will have a business in 2024 that you make 6 figures profit from. In the Landverse Premium Discord, I hold weekly calls where we discuss deals, we discuss how to do deals, we discuss marketing, and so much more. When you join the Premium Discord, you learn many of the principles needed in order to start a multi-six-figure profit land flipping business. For today, if you join the Premium Discord for a year, you get it for 60% off. Make sure to join the Premium Discord, link is below. Make sure to like this video, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what trainings you guys want me to do next. Thank you for watching Landverse. I'll see you next time.